Welcome to QuaranLean, the show where we bring a little lean ensemble into your home while we all wait for the moment when we can once again do it in the theater. I'm Blake White, and this is an online show, and I have no idea how any of it works. Every other week, we're going to be discussing regional theater, national theater, the arts overall, and anything else that we feel like talking about. Every episode will bring special guests, ensemble members, and arts leaders from across the country. Our aim is to divert you. Our aim is to inform you. And most importantly, our aim is to never take up more than 12 to 15 minutes of your time. So, here we are. I have used hair product today for the first time since March 14th. I know it was March 14th because in quarantine, you have the time to figure stuff like that out. So let's get this motor running. Let's QuaranLean. We only have one camera. My guest today is one of my best friends on the entire planet. Lean audiences will remember him from his riveting performances in The Glass Menagerie, Buyer and Seller, Who Am I This Time, Good People, and most recently, Every Brilliant Thing. He is my brother from another mother, coming to us all the way from the Upper West Side of New York City. He is Matt Mundy. Wearing a face mask, taking it seriously, even at home by yourself.
It's true. In New York, you're always social distancing.
Always, even in your apartment that you live in by yourself.
Yes, it's true. It's just it's the mental state of a New Yorker.
I feel like you are not wearing a mask for health reasons. I feel like you're wearing a mask for another reason in the privacy of your own home, but maybe I'm just reading into things.
I've never shopped for razors before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got lost. I bought a lot of mouthwash. But that was it. So yeah.
Well, so what
So
you got
now
going
I'm
on under there?
I'm stuck.
Oh, it's a corn beard.
I'm auditioning for a Western.
Oh, Matt, so many people have thought you've been a beard. So what is going on up in New York City?
I am just having fun.
Just having fun?
Yeah, it's just a great time.
What'd you do with yourself?
I am contouring and lots of facial experimentation.
Is it manicured, or
Yeah.
is it the way? Is that the? So you've shaved here.
Yeah, I've shaved.
You
here.
haven't shaved here.
Correct, and I've shaved like right in between here. I'm going for the like Henry Cavill.
That's definitely when I first saw it. The first thing I thought was Henry Cavill. First thing I thought was Superman.
Mission Impossible 8.
Yeah. Did you know that we have been in 18 plays in some capacity together since the year 2000? Do you remember the first show that we did together 20 years ago?
Inherit the Wind.
It was Inherit the Wind, which is a production of Inherit the Wind that we can all agree did happen.
Yes, there were people cast in it.
There were people cast in it that said words.
Yep.
The show did occur.
People showed up, people went home, and that happened multiple times.
So what is New York City like these days?
I mean, it's quiet, but it's great because like I can hear my neighbors dial the phone for the first time. Yeah, which is great. I try to listen in. I don't hear anything. So
a lot of people not a lot, but some people, see these videos of like the desolate streets of New York City and they get very downtrodden and,
right.
and I think a very reasonable response to what's happening.
Yeah.
But there's this other point of view that says that I find pretty interesting. That's just a sign of people doing what they have to do to get through this.
And I think
Which is a little bit more of an uplifting point of view, I think.
Right. And it's kind of like both things are true, and we're not used to holding those two disparate things in our mind at the same time. And it's not this, but this, it's this and this. And so our first emotional response is, this is sad. Yeah. And it's a sign that people are doing the right thing.
So, I don't do a lot of social media.
Okay.
Because it makes me sad.
Fair.
But I have, you have sent me, and
Mm-hmm.
I have also been shown by my beautiful wife, Peggy, some of the videos that you've taken going around the city. You know, we've all heard about this thing that happens at 7 o'clock every night in New York and also across the country. And we can see it on TV, and we can see it in every State Farm commercial they're ever going to make. But I would imagine that experiencing it and living it is an entirely different situation. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, part of the beauty of a city that lives kind of on top of each other is there is this communal experience, whether we know it or not. It's like we're all brothers and sisters living in living close, but just far enough apart. And then when it's 7 o'clock, we all come out and be like, "Yay! Remember, we're all related." And like, it's this really cool communal moment. 59.
So you've done,
Jeez, it is long.
Lots of shows down here in the HHI.
A lot of shows.
A lot of them sketches, and one of my favorite ones that you did was actually the most recent one that we did. It was actually the show that we did right before. It was two shows right before all this nonsense started. Mm-hmm. It's called Every Brilliant Thing. And
Every Brilliant Thing.
It's the only show that we've done here that I watched every night. And I include stuff that I've directed, stuff that I have not, stuff that I liked, stuff that I didn't like. I watched it every single night, not because of the audience reaction that was a little bit different every night, but because I found it to be such a life-affirming show. A show about suicide, in a sense, was actually the most life-affirming piece of theater that I have been lucky enough to have been involved with. What was doing that show like?
It was awesome. It was terrifying in many ways, and absolutely beautiful and lovely, and so many incredible multi-layered ways. And when I say the terrifying part, it's the preparation, because there's so many unknowns, and the play is written that way. And I've done solo shows before, yep, that one. Part of knowing like the difference of doing Every Brilliant Thing in Byron Cellar was this small story that gets out of control because you're excited to tell the audience. And this is you already know, you're so excited to share with the audience, and you know where it's going. So there's a shepherding quality to it. One thing that I love about that show is it really is about the truth of hope, that hope is not circumstantial, because there were so many circumstances that my character, my mother, the people in my life were going through terrible things, terrible decisions were made, but hope remained there. And the reason you realize we were all there in that moment was because hope has brought us to this, literally in this moment.
What is the thing that inspires you? What is the thing that is giving you hope?
It depends on the day. And sometimes it is circumstantial, which is fine. I just know that can go away. I mean, like being able to, like early on, toilet paper was a hard thing to find. And having that was great. But I think
having toilet paper gave me hope.
Toilet paper gave me hope. Yes.
I would get through the morning.
It's true. Can you spare a square? A lot of the hope is not something we can speak into our own selves. It's what other people speak to us. And because the first lie we tell ourselves is that we're the only ones, that we're alone, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, when you're told to quarantine, immediately, I mean, especially if you do live alone, that's the first thing that's going to come up. So the hope actually comes from the recognition that you're not. So what gives me hope, honestly, is knowing that I'm not alone, that there really have been and are other people, friends like yourself, who checked in on me very early on.
What's been fascinating to me about this from a personal point of view is some days I've got it in spades and some days I'm a little draggy, and the difference is what gets me through the draggy days.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, it's not the good days. Those are the days we just kind of ride. So
there are a lot of people here in the low country of South Carolina who are hoping that you might come back down here and do a show. Are we thinking about maybe a return of Matt Mundy in the coming season?
I think yes.
Yes.
You are hearing it here first.
Our dozens of viewers.
We are breaking news.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Blake.
I do love you.
I love you too.
I'm so glad to see you. I can't wait to see you again whenever, wherever, if we do a play, if we don't do a play, I know I'll see you again soon. And I'll talk to you before then. So
yes.
Thank you for being on this very first episode of QuaranLean.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is really awesome. Actually, this was so much fun. I talked to you a lot, and getting to talk to you on the first episode is quite an honor.
And remember, you're still talking to me for free.
Yes, I do know.
We will see you down here soon.
All right, sounds good.
Well, that's our first episode of QuaranLean. I want to thank our guest, Matt Mundy, for being a part of it. I also want to thank our production sponsor, Sleeves Up Productions, SUP, based out of New York City. I also want to take a minute to remind all of our Lean Ensemble audience members to fill out that survey that we sent you a week ago. We'd like to get that information back from you on Sunday. We want to hear what you think so that we can plan the days, weeks, and months ahead. Also, send us comments on Facebook, Instagram, tweet us, email us at info@leanensemble.org, and you can also call us. We do have a telephone. My apologies to Mila Lerner. We ran out of time to talk to you for this episode, but we promise to get back to you in a later episode. Until we see you all again in 2 weeks, stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay sane.